Hi, so I'm going to take you through a mid-fidelity prototype of Plugged, which is a job searching platform focused on connecting companies and recruiters to diverse hires. So this was our third project at General Assembly DC. I worked in a team of three. It was myself, my teammate Liz, and my teammate Jess. We split up kind of the things we wanted to work on within this group prototype after making solo prototypes earlier and testing a few features on that. So Jess worked on the landing page, which we're on right now. I'm going to walk you through it. So first, I just want to talk about the tone that we wanted to set with this website. We wanted it to be really bold, but not unprofessional. We wanted it to be really warm and inviting and community oriented. And community was important for us because based on our surveys and usability tests, we found that personal connections were by far the most helpful thing in helping people either identify opportunities, prepare for opportunities, or land interviews and jobs. So here we have a little carousel that would explain what this website could be used for, how it works, and why users should use Plugged. Afterwards, we just have more kind of images and big bold statements here. Right, find your network, if not when. Um, and opportunities for users to take control of their job search. So we have a few of our features here, like the exchange, but we also have kind of the benefits of using our website. Recruiter match was going to be a big focus on our website. We really wanted to make sure we could connect users with recruiters who have specialized knowledge in the industries that they're recruiting for or the companies that they're hiring for. Our website was going to be geared more towards younger professionals, maybe around 21 to 30. So we thought that, especially for those fresh out of college grads, it would be really important to start developing relationships with recruiters. We have options to go mobile and just learn more. And here we have things that users could click on to learn more about Plugged. Now we're going to go through a quick sign-up flow. Again, just made this too. You would type in your name, choose your ethnicity, email, and then confirm passwords. We also wanted to make it easy for users to just sign up through Google or LinkedIn. And then we have a quick onboarding flow. This was also done by Jess. So we have information about education, some more information about a current or most recent job. And again, users could always kind of skip this if they wanted to and fill it out later, or click next and go on to the next step. And then we had some categories that they would choose for things that they were interested in. So this would be the profile page. We have a pretend user here, Jasmine Smith, and the profile page was also made by Jess, so this is a user's personal profile. Right up here we have like an about statement where users could describe themselves, and both recruiters and other members would be able to see this. You could see your network and see who's there. We have a separate section here for recruiters. And we have a get to know me section. So something we found during our competitive analysis was that a lot of job sites didn't really focus on users' personal lives. It was very work oriented, obviously, but we really wanted to make sure our site was a little bit different. Again, a little bit more focused on relationships and communities and letting people get to know each other on a human level, not just based on a resume and a cover letter. So here users could upload photos that were just meaningful to them for whatever reason. This prospective user is really into kind of art, right? She's into yoga, graphic design. You could post pictures of your pets and maybe other athletic achievements. And we thought this was, again, a good way to be more warm and welcoming and let users kind of foster those genuine connections with each other and with recruiters. We also had a noteworthy section here where users could upload other things that they're working on. Maybe they have an Etsy site, maybe it's a portfolio or an Instagram, but other things that users would want to upload. And then we have stuff on education, experience, interests, and groups. Next, we're going to look at the dashboard. This is a feature that I worked on. So for the dashboard up here, I have some quick links to things that users would want to see most often. So saved jobs, saved events, messages, and maybe the exchange. Right up top here, we have the daily matchups with recruiters. So our client really wanted some sort of swiping feature on this app to help connect users to different companies or opportunities. And again, we decided to do it with recruiters. So every day you could see your matches. You could like your match or you could dislike your match. And then afterwards, you'll see your recruiter in your messages. So if you go to recruiter messages, you'd be able to see that recruiter you just matched with and then shoot them a quick message. This would also kind of connect with that feature we just saw on the profile. It would be the same exact thing. You could just access it from the dashboard too and either change your photos or edit your captions from here or from your profile page. Next, we have jobs we thought you would like. Each day, users would get 3 different jobs that we thought would be a good fit for them, and they could either like it or dislike it. And the more they kind of voted on these things, the better the algorithm would get for suggesting jobs to them. And then we have the exchange, which is an opportunity to swap resumes or cover letters with another person in your industry. So a big problem that we kept hearing while doing our user interviews and surveys was that people were not confident in their resumes or their cover letters, and they often didn't really know who to turn to for help. And it's just, sorry, losing my words. And across different industries, there's a lot of different metrics for what makes a successful resume or a cover letter. And so by pairing people up with people who work in their industry, we thought that we could alleviate some of these problems and get users feeling more confident about their resumes and cover letters. At the bottom here, we have events you might like. So during user testing, my user suggested to me to put this up a little bit higher since it would be more relevant to job seekers, and to bring the exchange a little lower and try to shrink it a little bit. So I consolidated kind of all the features I originally had into this little box and just put notifications in one spot. So now we're going to go to the exchange. This is the other feature that I worked on. So up here we have kind of directions. First, a user would upload a resume or a cover letter. Next, they would get matched with someone in their field, or they could choose to match with a connection that they already have. And then 3, they would give a person some feedback and then just wait. So here we have examples of what feedback would look like for a user. So again, they have kind of 3 things that went well for this resume, and then 3 things that they could improve on a little bit. And then over here we have new requests, and I'm going to take you through the editing feature. So this changed a lot from my initial prototype based on the usability testing results I got. I made sure to make them a little bit translucent so that if you drag this over to a certain area, you could still see the writing underneath. I also added these directions here, click and drag me, so that it was clear that these arrows were movable. And they also disappeared after hovering so that they wouldn't stay kind of in the way of the feedback over here. And then users could, again, kind of type things that they like and type suggestions for improvement. And then submit feedback. I also added some options to interact with your matchup in a little bit more. So you could look at, for example, Margie's profile. You could connect with Margie. Maybe you really liked her resume and thought that she was a really strong front-end developer. Maybe she's working somewhere that you are interested in working in, and now you have that automatic connection, right? So you could connect, or you could send a compliment. After users finished writing out feedback, they would submit it. If they, ran out of time or wanted to come back to it a different day, they could save it as a draft. And the last thing I'm going to show you is the jobs page. This is what my teammate Liz worked on. So here we have all of these search options. You can search by role, company, keyword, or industry, by location, and then there's some drop downs here. That would be useful for filtering. So you would see save jobs first, and then jobs based on your profile. And we have these additional symbols here that I'm going to explain. This heart would indicate that you've matched with a recruiter who works at this company. And these little kind of cards here would indicate that there are people in your connections who also work at the company. So if you see a job that you're interested in, you could see whether or not there are people within your network that could tell you a little bit more about this position or this company in general. And now we're just going to pretend to search for maybe a programming job in Maryland. And we're going to click search, and programmer roles would come up right here. Again, you could bookmark it if you wanted to, or just go straight to the listing. And again, down here again, we see the recruiter, or a recruiter who works here. And this is a recruiter that you didn't necessarily have to match with, but now our users would have that opportunity to directly reach out to someone in that company. And over here, we have members who work here. So again, these might not be people in your connections yet, but they're people you could reach out to for an informational interview. And then when you click apply, it would redirect you to the company's actual portal. So that was a run through of the mid-fidelity prototype that I developed with 2 other teammates. There were 3 of us total. We made this all on Axure and had 3 weeks to do surveys, user interviews, competitive and comparative research, some feature analysis, some wireframing, prototyping, testing, and then some more prototyping. Thank you for listening.